Taking time out of your day to help someone in need.
Making a change moving forward.
Advocating for those who have no voice.
Using your strengths to become a better team member.
Staying true to your own values and beliefs.
Choosing to be a leader and example for others when nobody else will. Being able to understand someone else's perspective.
Choosing to stand up for a cause that you believe in.
Region 4, come help us discover the difference.
Welcome to the third and final workshop of our Explore and Discover FFA event.
In 2020, leadership has taken an entirely new position. With many things in our world being uncertain, our goal in today's workshop is to teach you how to be a leader in 2020 and beyond so that we can prepare you to lead any situation 2020 throws at you. Well, maybe not the zombie apocalypse. But first, we're going to do an activity that teaches you about your strengths as a leader.
First, take out a piece of paper. When you hear the word connect, write down your first name on the side of the paper, one letter at a time, and write a strength or an adjective describing yourself using each letter of your name. You're going to have 1 minute to do this. Connect.
If there is someone near you, go ahead and share your characteristics with them now.
Each word that you wrote down during this activity was one of your strengths and something that gives you a unique perspective as a leader. Now we have thought more about some of our strengths, and we are going to figure out how to use those strengths to become a better leader.
Take a moment to pause the video and come up with a list of some of the strengths that a leader has. If you are with others currently, work with them to make a greater list. If not, take as much time as you need to come up with some good examples of what you think makes up a good leader. After you are done, unpause the video and we will share some examples with you.
Did any of the traits on your list match the ones we shared? If they did, that's great. If not, that's okay too. There are a lot of traits that make up a good leader. Not every leader is the same, and each of us has different strengths and weaknesses.
Leaders discover the differences and how they can use their skills as a leader in order to make a positive impact on the lives of others in whatever form of leadership that they may be in.
The amount of service and the amount of leadership we demonstrate is reflected in our attitudes and impacts our effectiveness. As we develop our skills in these areas, we identify what type of leaders we want to be and how we can make an impact on the world.
To be a servant leader means to be someone who chooses to be a leader not because they want a title or fame, but because they want to make a positive impact on others. Servant leaders work with those who they lead to accomplish a goal. This next video is a good example of servant leadership in the real world.
Now, we would like you to discuss some of the examples of servant leadership you saw in the video and how they can be applied to us being leaders in FFA and agriculture. If you are unable to discuss with others, go ahead and write down some of the examples that you saw so you can process how we become servant leaders.
Now we are going to use the traits that we learned about leaders and being servant leaders and apply it to real-world examples in FFA.
As leaders, we are sometimes asked to plan events for large groups of people. Now that we are in the middle of a pandemic, many events that are usually held in person have to be held virtually. Virtual events are a lot different from in-person events, so we came up with a list of tips to help you while planning your virtual event.
Number 1, use social media. Social media is an easy and safe way to get the word out to large groups of people.
Number 2, decide whether the event would be held better live or filmed beforehand. If you want people to be able to ask questions at the end, a live event might be the better option.
If the event is live, be prepared. Practice before you go live. and maybe even have a script in front of you. It might also be a good idea to have a list of questions in case there aren't many asked during the live event. People tend to be less likely to participate in virtual events than there are in in-person events.
Next, we're going to share the steps that we took to plan this event for you. And after that, you are going to apply that knowledge to your own example. We communicated this event by posting on our social media platforms and emailing all advisors to communicate to their students. We decided on a pre-recorded video to make it easier for people to participate in our event, with all the uncertainty that's going on in our world right now. We also included live meetings to allow members and the region officer team to connect with each other and answer questions that may come up.
We used resources provided by the National FFA organization and other resources from past region officers and other leadership training events to make up our workshop materials. With everything going on now, it can be hard to keep members engaged when most activities have come to a stop. We chose to include activities that you can participate in hands-on so that you can hopefully have the same experience as we would if this event was in person. We have also included live meetings to allow us to speak directly with members to keep them engaged. Another method of engagement that we used included surveys for feedback so that we can learn about how your experiences was and if you were engaged.
Now your job is to pick a number from 1 to 3 in your head, and whatever number you choose, you're going to plan the corresponding virtual event. Once you have your event, a screen will show up with the 4 steps as a reminder to the specifics of what you need to make your leadership effective. You can pause the video and take as much time as you need to make sure that your event is well planned out. If you need to go back in the video to review our example, now is a good time to do so.
In this activity, you connected being a leader with how we can serve others in the state that we are currently living in. Going forward, you can use what you have learned today not just to apply to FFA and agriculture, but everyday life as well. Today, you discovered the difference between what it means to be a leader and what it means to be a servant leader, and how each style of leadership is important to how we help others. We also discussed how to apply this knowledge to real-world situations in FFA.
At this time, please go fill out the workshop survey so that we can better understand how this workshop went for you. You can either type in the link or you can click on the link to the survey in the description below.
Thank you for watching today's workshop about leadership in 2020. This concludes our 3 workshops for the week. We hope you will join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. for a live Zoom meeting with the region officers and a few other special guests. Your advisor should send you the link. Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I have none, Mr. President.
Does any member or guest know of any new or unfinished business which should come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn this meeting of the first ever virtual Region 4 Explore and Discover FFA event. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in our labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, please join me in a salute to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now declare this meeting adjourned.
Bye.